So my name's Nate Mitchell. I'm Vice President of Product and one of the co-founders of Oculus VR.
Can you tell us more about what Oculus is and the involvement of Oculus VR with EVE Fanfest?
Sure. So Oculus is a company developing the Oculus Rift, which is a new virtual reality headset designed specifically for immersive VR gaming. And we're here at FanFest working with the CCP guys on a new concept that they're showing off called EVR. And it's this incredibly immersive cockpit dogfighting style game in the EVE universe. And it's just a heck of a lot of fun to play in the Rift.
I got a chance to demo it. It is excellent. I love how the very first gameplay is multiplayer right off the bat.
Yeah.
And can you tell about how did this plan come about? Did they approach you or did you approach them?
So actually CCP was one of our biggest backers on Kickstarter, even at the launch of our Kickstarter campaign back in August. So yeah, we launched Oculus on Kickstarter. CCP was one of our early backers. So we've been in talks with them for a long time, and basically they got an early dev kit as one of our biggest backers, and as soon as they got the kit, they wrote to us and they were like, we might do a little something with this. Is that cool? And we said, absolutely. That was the reason, we did the Kickstarter, was to get great developers and game designers like CCP involved in the process to give us feedback on the hardware and the software. So they've been sending us plenty of feedback on ideas and suggestions, bug fixes. We've been working with them on gameplay suggestions in terms of best practices for VR games. And I think what you see here is, one of the first really made for VR games where they took an idea and built it from the ground up for virtual reality, and it just really plays really nicely in the Oculus Rift.
I know on the YouTube channels, there's a lot of people saying that they played the Rift, they loved it, but there's all different types of mini games.
Yes.
Now, when will an actual game be released? Like, not just like a beta or pre-beta.
Right.
When will the actual game come out?
So I think the big challenge there is that we're still only selling the development kit, and the consumer version is coming down the road. So right now, a lot of the experiences that are coming out, the mini games and sort of short bite-sized content pieces, they're really more like developer showcases than full launch titles for the Rift, right? And that's how the consumer launch is going to work. Developers right now are doing exactly what CCP's done. They're prototyping games for the Rift. They're building experiences, seeing what works, seeing what's fun in virtual reality, because it's a lot different from developing a traditional 2D game, or a game that plays on a 2D monitor. And then, as we start to figure out what works well, consumer launch games will start to follow and come out of that. But we leave all those announcements up to developers because we don't want to steal their thunder.
You have a lot of partners, you can't really talk about them, but after the Kickstarter project was fully funded, did you have to increase your staff significantly to accommodate each of those large backers?
So yes and no. I think we've increased our staff significantly because of Kickstarter, right? As soon as we knew that this was happening and that people were excited about the concept and that the Oculus Rift was really, something that people wanted, as soon as we knew that, we had that validation, we raised $2.4 million, we ramped up the team pretty quickly. And so we're about 25 people full-time now in our office in Irvine, and we continue to expand that team. Working with people like CCP, it's actually quite easy. You send them the hardware and the software, and at that point you're just collaborating sort of on the fringes. But we continue to ramp up our team as more and more developers get excited.
Now, besides this dogfight project, has CCP hinted at anything else that they want to be working on? Perhaps incorporate it into, I don't know, Dust maybe?
They haven't yet. We'll see what happens. I think really this was the first opportunity to prototype something with the Rift. It's a very new device. They've only had it for about 7 weeks. We'll see where it goes from here. I think it's really dependent on the community's response and how players enjoy sort of stepping into the EVE universe for the first time. But we've got a long way to go to the consumer version, so they've got plenty of time to figure it out and make decisions.
So when will the consumer version come out? Like, what is your anticipated date?
So we haven't announced a release date quite yet, but what I can say is that we're working on it, and it's not 5-10 years away. This is something that's coming in the near term that gamers should be excited for.
Would you guys be showing or making any announcements at E3?
That I cannot comment on.
When Microsoft first came out with the Kinect, they had a vision for it. But then hackers got their hold of it and turned it into something excellent. They attached it to robots. Now, Have you seen something similar done to the Oculus Rift?
Yeah, absolutely. So a big reason we did the development kit process, more open, the way we did do it, is exactly that. You look at hardware like the Kinect, and when people are able to tap into it and really experiment with it and build upon it, you get these incredible creations. And what we're doing right now, while we research and develop the consumer version, we're constantly evaluating what people are doing in the community and what game developers want to see to build a better consumer product. Because remember, all that innovation with Kinect came after the Kinect had shipped. We've kind of flipped that on its head, where we're doing that right now with the development kit and then integrating all of that great feature set into the consumer version. So the hope is that we'll have a really compelling consumer product when it launches.